Want to know more about the power of AI enhanced playwright scripts? Well, you're in for a treat because today our expert guest is Rio, the visionary behind the AI automation testing solution, Autify Genesis. So, in this episode, we'll dive deep into the innovative AI driven solution that Autify is bringing to the world of software testing. We explore how their integration with Playwright makes it uber flexible for both technical and non technical users. Rio will share insights on his journey from a no-code solution to their latest product, which leverages Gen AI to bridge the gap in the testing lifecycle. We'll also discuss the powerful feature of their AI agent, which can generate playwright scripts, interact with applications autonomously, and adapt to changing requirements with ease, all while ensuring user avoids a lock-in with a vendor. We'll discuss the powerful features of their AI agent, which can generate playwright scripts, interact with applications autonomously, and adapt to changing requirements with ease, all while ensuring the user avoids a vendor lock-in. So tune in as we explore how Autify is making strides with local and cloud-based solutions and the importance of AI in helping with software development and testing, and also what sets their offering apart in this ever-growing space. So don't miss this episode, packed with awesome revelations and practical insights for anyone involved in QA and software testing. You don't want to miss it. Check it out. And to actually see this all in action, be sure to check out the webinar replay of the session Rio did with us a few weeks ago on our Test Guild webinar series on how this all works. And you can see it for yourself. So don't miss it. You can check that out using the link down below. Hey, Rio, welcome to the Guild.
Hi, Joe.
Great to have you. Really excited about this. I'm always excited when I learn about new solutions, especially around AI. So the first question I always ask founders is probably the first thing is, how did you get into AI first off? And then we'll dive into what the solution is.
Yeah, sure. So the Otify actually has started since 2019. So we've been investing into the AI since the beginning of the company. So the first solution we built, our original flagship product, is the Otify No Code, which is the record and playback, the no code local solution, so that anyone can automate. Then AI to maintain the scenario you created by the record and playback. So yeah, based on the UI changes. So that's how we get into the AI in the first place. So like back in the original product, we employ the classical like machine learning technique to identify the same element in the page, like even though the UI has been changed. So like how we did that was like collecting all the so-called features of the element, like IDs, a class name, like positions and colors, and like a text, parent element, siblings, and all that. And then we like calculate the similarity score between those two screens, like a different screens, and then pick the closest element from there. So that was like how we started in terms of the AI. Then from there we eventually gradually like evolved our AI technologies. So now we implemented the kind of image recognition to identify the element, like that is actually applied for our mobile solution. So like mobile, one of the biggest challenges is finding the right element as well. But the mobile, sometimes it's difficult to access to the source code. So that's why we use the image recognition technique to identify the element in the mobile screen. So we have the visual recognition kind of like a machine learning engine there. Then yeah, so we invested a lot of areas in AI. Then now Gen AI comes. So we decided to launch the new product, which is the Otify Genesis. Yeah, so the Otify Genesis takes the earlier part of the software testing journey, so which does the test case creation as well as test script generation by understanding the requirement. So requirement can be like anything, like a PDF or Word or spreadsheet or Figma, Jira ticket, whatever like you write as a requirement can be taken by the Genesis Gen AI engine that can create the test cases with a wide range of coverage. Then also we build the like AI agent that actually accesses to your application to like generate like interact with your application and then generate the playlist script in real time. So one of the biggest challenges of like generating the test case or like the play I would say playlist script by just making use of the chat GPT or like just other LLM is it can create the very nice look kind of playlist script. It looks works, but it doesn't because it doesn't know the structure of your application. So what we did is implemented the AI agent to actually interact with your site, and then it analyzes the structure of the pages and get the accurate element locator and so on. So like with that, we now can create the very very accurate playlist script because it actually interacted with the application, and then we actually run the generated playlist script at the same time. So the outcome is actually very accurate. It runs, yeah. So, anyways, that is kind of like a long story short. This is the our kind of AI journey since the beginning.
So interesting. I want to dive in a little bit more on how this all works. But the first thing is, you already had a solution in 2019 before. I mean, that's about when Gen AI started to take off, but obviously you were developing before then. How did you know AI was going to be as big as it was going to be? Like, how did you see that then? Because
Mhm.
seemed like you got in right before everyone else jumped in to slap on AI. You started AI first, way before other companies started coming into the space.
Yeah. So actually, like since the beginning, like we truly believe in AI. We think like AI is gonna be definitely revolutionize the software testing as well as like software like development itself. Yeah. So like actually like so at the time of starting Notify, like there's some reports. I think like the report is like from Gartner, like the Gartner report mentions that the I forgot the detail, but maybe we can paste it on somewhere on the note
Sure.
maybe
Yeah,
after
we'll have it
that.
in the
But
comments down below.
yeah, so it says like in few years, maybe like a 2025 or something, like a lot of companies gonna employ AI engineers. So AI engineer means like AIs, right? In the software development teams. So then when I read that, I thought like, yeah, this should be the future, right? So the AI should definitely evolve in next 5 to 10 years. Then that's gonna definitely increase the productivity, and then I think it's not gonna replace our job. It's more like helping us to like make us more productive. So that was the kind of the vision, like our vision from the beginning. So we really like truly believe in like AI is gonna definitely eventually revolutionize the testing and then software development. Then actually like our first idea is something like Otify Genesis. Like yeah, we kind of try to like generate the test case from the like the BDD the Garkin. Yeah, but we actually failed because it was too early. Like the technology was not really there, so that's why we decided to pivot it into the like a record and playback type of classical approach plus AI. So that was more realistic solution back then. So yeah, that's why. But still AI. Then the more we invest into the AI, the more we believe that like the AI now can capable of understanding the element from the screenshot or can maintain the scripting the scenario by the UI changes. So yeah, the more we do, the more we believe. Then now finally Gen AI comes, and then I was like, yeah, this is definitely the future we envisioned from the beginning.
So I'm just a little confused. The original solution you seemed like it was using image-based AI or machine learning to figure out everything in a no-coded way, and that to me seems like it would be, especially now with like multimodal AI, the way forward. So why create a new? You make a clear distinction now between that and Audify Genesis. Why is that?
Yeah, so the first of all, for the original product, employ the image recognition techniques as well as the classical. I mean, this is classical and the machine learning approach, by the way. But we also like use the HTML, like both sides, like HTML to extract the features, then also understand the image to like. So we employ those two techniques. Use those together, use both approach to identify the element. So, but yeah, to answer to your question, yeah. So why we started, right? Because like there's a few reasons. So first of all, like what no code, low code product, what our original product can solve is kind of limited in the testing life cycle. So it has the kind of later part of the testing cycle, like if you know what to automate, you can easily use record and playback to start creating the automated scenario. So, but like we've been supporting a lot of different types of customers, and what we found is lots of people is like spending their time on like creating the test case as well as designing the automated test case and so on. So I do see the like larger problem is actually outside of that scope that we've been solving. So like what I realize is like we need to capture that. We need to support. We need to help the customers to solve that earlier part of this problem as well, so that we can provide the whole value chain for the entire testing life cycle. So that's why we started thinking about like started brainstorming like how we can solve that earlier stage challenges like the test case creation and so on. Yeah, then LLM comes and then I was like, yeah, so this is actually like, the very good solution, the problem to be solved by Gen AI is, understand the requirement and then generating the test case as well as generating the test code. This is actually like, what the Gen AI is really good at. So like, the piece got together for me, then yeah, so let's employ Gen AI to tackle this like test case creation problem, then yeah, build the whole platform to cover the entire problems in the testing lifecycle.
Awesome. So, how does Audify Genesis work? And it sounds like I can feed it Figma file, I could feed it a requirement file someone else gave me, like all these files. It's almost like I'm training it on my own uh, context-based LLM that it then will understand what it needs to be done to test it.
That's right. That's right. So it's very important to like let the our AI agent understand the context of your application. So not only just put in the requirement, but also if you have any other like a supplemental documentation or like a supplemental information, you should definitely feed it. Like what we did for our internal use case was like not only just put the our PRD, but also like put the our entire help center documentation. So that our help center documentation has the all the information about the our application's behavior. So like with that, like if you have that kind of like help doc or user manual or something like that, that is gonna be also the great input. So you put all that, then our AI try to create the test cases based on that like a specific requirement. Yeah, so that's basically how it works. And then first of all, generate the list of the test cases, and then you review it. Then after that, it generates the Gherkin scenarios. So we decided to go with the Gherkin format because the Gherkin format is kind of widely used. Then it's a well-known format. Then like how I like Gherkin is very abstract. Like you need to write the Gherkin scenario in an abstract way, right? So you basically don't really put yet a lot of like granular information like how you log in or like what kind of credential is gonna be used or something like that. So because one of the biggest challenge of the end-to-end test is the maintainability, right? So the more granular you go, then the more difficult the maintenance becomes. So that's why, like, we decided to go with Gherkin. So in terms of maintainability, so like kind of higher layer, right? Yeah. Then, so to like let you regenerate the test script if something changes on the UI side, right? So like one of the biggest challenges of the end to end, every time the UI changes or like a page changes or some requirement changes, like although the whole like the higher level operation won't be changed, like a lot of detail can be changed. So like why we decided to go with Gherkin is Gherkin can be maintained in the higher layer, the abstract way, so that you can regenerate the playlist script, like when the when the some detail changes. Yeah. So that's basically how we create the test cases first of all, and then the latter part is gonna be the playlist script generation. But yeah, I think I can pause here then if you have any questions.
Yeah. So say the requirement does change. How does it know? Is it plugged into your code base? Do you know? Is there a process that developers need to start feeding in what they're going to do for the sprint or something? Like, how does it know it
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
and it really did change?
So like our approach is not really our approach is to not to access to your code repository, because like we go with the black box testing. We basically rely on the requirement from you. Yeah. So like whenever the requirement, like the spec is changed, you upload the new requirement. Yeah, if the Figma is changed, like we are now building the integration to Figma. So like when the something changed, we can automatically feed it to our model to regenerate the test cases, and also we building the integration to Jira. So when like a new requirement is created or the Jira ticket has been updated, then we can automatically feed it, right? So anyways, like you like give the recommend again so that we can understand the changes. We can understand the changes. Then it can regenerate the test cases that will be affected.
And by doing so, it regenerates the test then. So a developer doesn't need to, oh, I need to change this ID in this function because it will, or there's a new page with this flow. It automatically would know that and update all the existing tests.
That's right. That's right. So like, what we generate is like, as I mentioned, is a higher layer, right? Higher layer of the Gherkin scenario. Then with that Gherkin definition, our AI agent actually interact with your application. Yeah. Then like, by following the Gherkin scenarios, right? So like if the Gherkin scenario says like log into the system, then the agent try to figure out a way to log into your site. So you don't really need to put a lot of details in the Gherkin because the AI agent can figure it out. Yeah, so while you can maintain the abstract way in the Gherkin scenario, the AI agent can figure out the details. So you don't really need to do a lot of like detailed ground up, like time consuming work. So like AI to figure out, then it can also break the Gherkin step down into the very actionable executable steps while it interact with your application and figure out the operation. Then create the playlist script. Then that what you need to do is like reviewing what the AI agent does. So it's kind of autopilot. Like when you start a session, like the session kicks in, then the AI agent started accessing, interacting with your site, and then try to figure out the way to log in. Then while do that, like it also creates the playlist script in the screen, right? Then you can just monitor like how our like AI agent figure out the way to log in. Then if something goes wrong, and you can just pause the session, then give the agent the another like input to fix the operation. So it's very interactive. So we have the chat window on the left side of application where you can communicate with the AI agent. So you can tell so sometimes the AI agent is going to ask you like, how to log in, like, what's the user credential, or, oh, like I couldn't actually pick the right element from the screen. could you like specify on behalf of me? So like, AI agent is actually going to ask you. Yeah. Then you give the input to the agent so that, it can fill in you know, the gap, then create the accurate playlist script. So that's how it works.
Gotcha. So you mentioned Playwright a bunch of times. So you start off as a no code company. Why are you generating Playwright code then? Well,
Yeah.
how much does people need to know about coding, and why are you using this approach?
Yeah. Great question. Thanks a lot. So first of all, like, I was pretty amazed by Playwright. I mean, I used to be the software developer by myself. So I write the Playwright script by myself too, and then I was pretty amazed. Playwright is like very amazing comparing to the other old solutions. Yeah, it's pretty fast, very light, and then the lots of great element locators and so on and so forth. Very stable. It can automatically wait until the element gets loaded or so on and so forth. So the Playwright is like very good, and like now, I think like everyone is like really interested in the Playwright, and then the community has grown a lot. So yeah, that's why the Playwright comes. Then why we are doing this, right, as a no code local company, because like one of the biggest challenge I've been seeing is like, there's a two types of audiences, like, the engineers, like a very technical people who writes the script by themselves. So the other side is like, like let's say manual testers, or like, the QA managers who doesn't really write the code. Then like, I do see the kind of like, the gap between those two audiences, and then there's no right solution to fill in the gap. So like, while no code works really well for the people who don't really write the code by themselves, but I do see like, lots of people writing like let's say Selenium or Cypress, Playwright, to do the automation as well. So like, we've been kind of thinking about like, how we can like help that kind of the technical side of audiences as well. Then like those people like think no code local is not their thing, because they can code. Then like if you go with the like a no code low code product, then like sometimes you can export the scripts, or you cannot, like you would lose the flexibility. So like was thinking of like how we can kind of bridge the gap between those two audiences, and then also provide the right solution to the technical audiences as well. Then yeah, so now we build the Autify Genesis, so which can definitely increase the productivity of those people who write the end-to-end script by themselves, while giving them the freedom, flexibility of the solution. So that's why then, so like what we do is like, if you're not very technical, right, the script, you can still use the no code by connecting with Genesis. So Genesis and Notify no code is integrated. So like while Genesis generate the Playwright script, no code can convert the Playwright script into the no code scenario. So like our new version of no code is gonna be based on top of Playwright. So if you're technical, you can, like you don't want to write the lots of the script like for the very basic operations as well. So in that case, you can just use the low code no code solution, then maintaining the easier way. But if you go with like the very technical complicated flow, then you can still maintain the Playwright on the back end. So yeah, so anyways, yeah, so that's why we decided to support the Playwright.
Does that also mean then, because it's generating Playwright, that it's not vendor locked? I mean, obviously, if someone uses it without your tool, they won't get all the AI, but would they at least be able to rerun the scripts if it doesn't change or anything like
Yeah,
that?
that's right. So like Oh no, what we do for Autify Genesis is, completely free from the vendor lock-in because we generate the Playwright script. So you can do whatever you want. Yeah. So you can just use the Playwright script. You can run this anywhere you want. So yeah, completely free from the vendor lock-in.
And you mentioned agent a few times. When you're running your tests, are you able to run in the cloud? Do you have to have an agent on all the machines that you run on? How does that work?
Yeah, so Audify Genesis is the form of the desktop app. So you install the desktop app. So this is also the other side of the election from the other cloud version, right? So like the reason why we decided to make this as the other desktop is like you can help your shift left. So you might want to test against the local host and then something that you're dropping. So I think that should be in the form of desktop app. So anyways, that is a desktop app. Then the agent is going to access to either your local host or staging or production, whatever you specify. Yeah, then the AI model itself is on the cloud. Yeah. If you have your internal AI model, of course, we are like AI model agnostic. So you can specify your internal model as well. But yeah, that is on the cloud. But yeah, so the agent works inside of your application or on your desktop app.
Gotcha. And do you have a VS Code plugin? Is that different than the desktop?
Yes, we have just implemented the VS Code plugin. So inside of the VS Code plugin, it does the same thing. Yeah, then it generates the Playwright code to your VS Code VS Code. Then where you can edit from there.
Nice. So there are a lot of players coming out in this exact space. Obviously, you had a head start. How would you say that your solution is maybe different? Not to say other solutions are bad, but is there like a key differentiator that like if someone's listening and they meet these criteria, like this is the tool for you, or maybe it's not the right tool for you?
Yeah, so I think there's a two aspect. First of all, we generate a playlist script. Some of the players is kind of like no code, low code plus the scenario generation, meaning that you still kind of like go with the vendor lock-in situation, and then you cannot have the flexibility of the solution. Yeah. So first of all, it's very flexible. It generates the Playwright script. I think that is one of the uniqueness part. Then the other thing is we provide the end-to-end solution from the test case, test script creation to the execution and the maintenance. So if you are interested in that part, you can also employ the solution too. So I think we're pretty unique on providing the whole end-to-end support for the entire testing lifecycle. Then yeah, no code part is also unique. It's so our new version is the desktop app based on top of Playwright. Then you can still access to the Playwright. Yeah, so a no scenario is actually essentially saying Playwright scripts. So yeah, I think that part is also pretty unique.
And if people are listening and they're trying to visualize it, don't worry. I'm going to have a link down below where you can see a replay of a webinar we did on Audify Genesis, partnering with GenAI to build test cases and Playwright scripts. It's a must-watch webinar where you can see this all in action, and you'll find a link for it down below. All right, Ria, before we go, is there one piece of actual advice you can give to someone to help them with their AI automation testing efforts? And what's the best way to find or contact you or learn more about Audify Genesis?
Oh yeah, you can access to our website and then contact us, or you can sign up for the beta access for Audify Genesis from the website.
Thanks again for your automation awesomeness. For links to everything of value we covered in this episode, head on over to testguild.com/A517. And if the show has helped you in any way, why not rate it and review it in iTunes? Reviews really help in the rankings of the show, and I read each and every one of them. So that's it for this episode of the Test Guild Automation Podcast. I'm Joe, and my mission is to help you succeed with creating end-to-end, full-stack automation awesomeness. As always, test everything and keep the good. Cheers. Hey, thank you for tuning in. It's incredible to connect with close to 400,000 followers across all our platforms and over 40,000 email subscribers who are at the forefront of automation, testing, and DevOps. If you haven't yet, join our vibrant community at testguild.com, where you become part of our elite circle driving innovation in software testing and automation. And if you're a tool provider or have a service looking to empower our guild with solutions that elevate skills and tackle real-world challenges, we're excited to collaborate. Visit testguild.info to explore how we can create transformative experiences together. Let's push the boundaries of what we can achieve.
The Test Guild Automation Testing Podcast. With lutes and lyres the bards began their song. A tune of knowledge, a melody of code. Through the air it spread like wildfire through the land, guiding testers, showing the secrets to behold.